service, also known as the ACS. Is there anyone in here who doesn't know where the ACS is located at? So can someone tell me where the ACS is located at?
Right there.
Just point that way, right? Yeah, correct. Down the street, as you pass the pool, you'll see us on the left side with a nice looking, colorful neon sign. So, what is this about tonight? Well, we're going to go through some information. We're going to go through some agencies for you all. So, for the primary purpose, so you don't have to go all around the coast trying to get information. You can basically do it at a one-stop shop right here. So that's the agenda, going from us, Army to ACS, all the way to our tables. If you have a question, feel free to ask it. Just feel free to ask it. What's the purpose of the expo? Like I just said, so you can familiarize yourself with the agencies, what we have to offer you, how we can help you, okay? So preparing for deployment. How many people have been down range already here? Any new people? Okay. Family advocacy. One of our agencies or one of our departments inside of our agency, family advocacy. What's their purpose in life? Basically, if it's about the family, they help you out. It's about communication. It's about new parent support. It's about how to communicate when you get through stressful problems and situations. Okay? That's our family advocacy program. We have a team just for that purpose, just to help you. Next, we have our financial readiness group. Now, anyone in here like money? Okay, only a few people raise their hand. Money is a tool, number one. It's a tool to help you plan for the future, help you to take care of the present, help take care of your family, your children, your wife, whatever the case may be, your friends, whatever. So money is a tool. Now, you went down range. Now, how many people made money in here when you went down range? Okay. How many people had a budget and had a plan to spend that money wisely once they came back from going down range? Okay, that's good. Not every hand went up, but you got to have a plan. Okay, preparation is never lost time. I love to say that. Preparation is never lost time. So you need to have a plan on what you want to do. What's the end state? What's your goal going to be? Because you're going to make money when you go down range. So it's best to have a plan before you go down range and know what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, and where you want to be and how to get there. We have a team that will help you financially. Volunteer program. We have a program set up. If you don't work and you want to volunteer your time, we have a program and a team of people for that purpose as well. To help get you plugged into the community, serving in some kind of way, and that you can have fulfillment in doing it at the same time. So we have that type of program. Mobilization deployment, that's my department. Myself, Melee Stender, and my team at ACS. We will see you at the SRP, Reverse SRP. Deployment Expo Reunion. We'll see you at, or family members, if you want to do it, schedule this through Family and Soldier and Family Strong, even for R&R. So we have programs in place that we teach at the ACS, MODEP, specifically to help you at each portion of the oxygen cycle, Army Force Generation. Basically, pre-deployment, deployment, post-deployment. Just another acronym, another way to say it. But that's our purpose. Relocation, or our reload. Anyone getting here to the island for the first time? Okay, do you have family members too? Okay, fine. Well, we have a team there that will help families coming for the first time to get used to the island, learn how to navigate the island, take an on-island tour, that's free. Okay, so just to learn your way around the island. We had a situation that did take place, a woman who actually, the husband got stationed for a chapter, got moved to HMR, the wife stayed at AMR, he was in HMR, he went down range with the MPs, and now she's in AMR, new to the island with the children, didn't know anything. She eventually found her way into the ACS office where we got her connected with our meeting. But she basically been living like a hermit for a few months in AMR. Because she didn't know her way around. And before she realized her spouse was down range. That really shouldn't happen, but if you live long enough, life happens. So when life happens, you need a team, a support team to help you get to where you gotta go. And so we were there for her. So we have a reload team just for that primary purpose. Communication, I like this because it's all about technology. We have a computer lab with about 15 to 17 computers in there. we have Skype capability, and we have VTC. In today's world, today's technology, there's no reason why you can't communicate with family members back home. There's just no excuse for it. So, we have the tools for you. Yes, we have a soldier, 2nd Brigade, went down range, gone for almost 12 months before the unit comes back, 30 days out. Mom is running around Schofield, finds her way into my office. He's a 1st-generation soldier, so she doesn't know Army, and she's just trying to find her son. Couldn't find him. He's been deployed for almost 12 months, had not communicated back home. Stuff like that. Shouldn't happen, but it happens. It was a gift. He's private. He's doing his job. He had to communicate. Mom's in Chicago, trying to find her son in Hawaii. Son is coming back from Iraq. Stuff like that. So, why am I saying this? Communicate. Email, text, snail them, right? Do something to let your loved ones, family, and friends, even if you want to your enemies, let them know that you're okay. Who? Let them know you're okay. All right, well, unfortunately, we also have a department in ACS that's there just in case that soldier doesn't make it back. Hopefully that will be no one in this room nor in this brigade. But the reality of the war is people go down range and sometimes they don't always come back. So we have a team at ACS just for that primary purpose. And they're located at our 4th chapter location. We have 3. 4th chapter location, this location, we have our SFAT. That's connected to the health clinic. So their whole purpose in life is to help that family who is probably going through the most significant emotional event of their life, to help them through and to be a support to them. That's the purpose of our Survivor Outreach Group. And then we have other resources that we can put people in contact with. And one of them up there, our pamphlet, who's out there, should be briefing you. If you have issues, you need to talk, they can talk to you on a confidential level, and she'll cover that when she comes in. And finally, if you have a question and you're just not sure where you need to go, what you need to do, but you remember ACS is down the street around the corner over there, right by the pool. 655-4227. That's the main desk number. If you're not sure what your question is, now 655-4227. We will make sure that if it's not our agency, we'll put you in the realm, help you package what you're trying to find out, where you need to go, and send you there. That's what we'll do for you at ACS. Are there any questions? All right, thank you for your time. And the next person to follow me will be the Red Cross.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Amy. I'm one of the interns at the Red Cross. I just want to give you a little bit more information for you. So the Red Cross is a nonprofit humanitarian organization. We deal with disaster relief, and our main cause for being here today is we do a lot of the SAP work, which is the Service to Armed Forces work. We have a bunch of locations on base. We have one at CAB Schofield, Thrift, basically, what this is you can come in, ask any question you want, and hopefully we'll have an answer for you. And if we can't get you an answer, we'll find one somewhere. This is our contact place on base here. And your contact person would be Nadia. Nadia actually works at Tripler full time, so she kind of balances in between bases. So she won't necessarily be there all the time. A good thing is to just call beforehand if you need to have a question answered to see if she's in the office. She's very helpful. She knows a lot of things, and she's been working in the military, and she's, I believe, a military spouse as well, so she knows a lot of things. We also have locations on the neighbor island in case you're visiting one of the neighbor islands to contact us, but I think most of you are all on base here, so if you need any of your information, outer island, these are our locations, Maui, Kauai, and Hawaii. So what do? We do emergency communication support briefings such as today. We have a dental program, the medical assistance program, we do referrals, and we have a lot of volunteer opportunities. I know for my spouses, time, we always love volunteers. And another good thing that you guys can get involved into while you're waiting for me to come home is we have medical assistance programs. So a way to work towards something while you're waiting and certified here. Also, we do the emergency communication. This is for any birth notifications, death notifications, illness, or injury. son, daughter ends up in the hospital because little brother knocked him off the bed and he broke his leg or whatever else. This happens quite often, and I see it a lot. Basically, what we need to know is it has to be verifiable. So what that means is I either need a doctor, nurse, or social worker at the office verify that this person is either in an emergency room, in a hospital, something like that. I do need to have verification on the doctor's side, so I can go ahead and send the emergency communication to your command. So, who qualifies for emergency communication message? This is your brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, spouse, children, anything like that. Occasionally, we have grandparents thrown in there. They're becoming a little bit more lenient on that. So I have seen a lot of grandparents lately. That's not usually encouraged, but you can send that out. Also, you have the parentis, which is anyone who has taken care of you for 5 years or more under the age of 21. And you want to be very specific when you do send out the message. I can only originate the message once, so you want to make sure that you say something to the effect of, my aunt watched me from ages 15 to 21, she took care of me financially. I just had a case today that said service members' aunt raised him for discipline reasons. So really anything that can be more specific is the better, because I can only send that message out once and I want to get all the information to your command. So if this is a loved one who means a lot to you, state it as such. So perhaps your chances of getting home, granting that leave is higher. This is a number that should be wives are really good at coming to the table and getting this information. Service members, occasionally they'll drop by the table, but this is the number that you need. We have pamphlets with the number and the information on our table. It's a 1877 number. You can call it anywhere, anytime, and basically what you do is you call the number and just tell them I have an emergency. The caseworker will walk you through it. So preparation is key. I need to have all of your information. So when you give the little slip to however you feel is going to communicate the message, please make sure you fill it out thoroughly. And please make sure that they read it thoroughly. I've had cases where it's a Johnny White, and his actual name is Jonathan, and his white name doesn't have the H in it. It's just W-I-T-E, and I cannot find you in my case files, and it makes it that much harder for me to find you in the database, and that much harder to get the message across to your command. So please make sure when you have someone who's sending a message out to you, they know your rank, they know what military branch you're served under. I have had grandmothers who say, he wears a uniform. It's not help me much. They can't even tell me what color the uniform is, and then I just have to go through that process of, okay, where station, please have that information, because it is an emergency and we want to get that information to your loved ones. So, for the emergency, please have the name of the person in need. So if it's your son, full name of your son. If it's your mother, so on. I also need the relationship and where the emergency is. If it's in Virginia at a hospital, I need to know all of that. Also, when the person is deceased, I need to either verify from a funeral home, a mortuary, or something of that sort that they are deceased. I've had cases where it is the family dog, and we do not do cases for the family dog. I've had to do that, and you verify it and you find it's Toto, and it's actually not your dad or your brother or your sister, it's the dog. We don't do it for the dog, but we do it for loved ones. But this is why verification is very important and why we go through this process. Also, for local point of contact, I know there's a lot of wives here. Always have a backup plan, please. I've had cases where the wife is in the ER, she's unconscious, the kids are with the neighbor, but you don't have a backup plan and she doesn't have that number. It's not on your fridge, obviously, because it has a social security number, but a good thing to do is just, whoever you trust is going to take care of your kids in an event that there's a possibility that you're not there to make the message. It's always good to have a backup plan that they know this number to call so they can get in contact with your husband or your wife or your loved one. We also do financial assistance. This is either through AER or through any of the societies. Basically, what you can do if you have an emergency communication message, say it's your wife. Your wife wants to go to her mother because her mother is dying in Virginia. A lot of times, time is very, very short. So she wants to get out to Virginia overnight. That's going to cost you about $1,000 roughly. What you need to do is you have to go online, book this commercial flight to yourself, and then go to the office and have people come in thinking that Red Cross gets out a lot of money. You don't. But we can help you try to get that money. So what I would suggest you do is do all of your homework right there at your home. Figure out what flights you need to take, how you're going to get there, what mothers can you up, etc. Go to the Financial Aid Society and we can help you with that loan process. Just verify that you indeed need a loan because it's an emergency. We also help out if you go to a MAP terminal and you need to get on that flight. We cannot guarantee you that flight, priority status, but we can help you with that little push of, yes, there's an emergency. She needs to get into Virginia overnight. Can we make this happen? So that's about all I have to tell you today. Just make sure you have all your information, have a plan, and be informed. Is there any questions at this time? If not.
Good evening. My name is Captain Elizabeth Boggs. I'm a judge advocate and legal assistance attorney here on Schofield Barracks. I'll be giving you a brief today on legal considerations for deployment. We have two offices, one here on Schofield Barracks and another on Fort Shafter. It's actually building 2037, just across the street from the club here, right across from CIF. That's where we're located here on Schofield. And the Fort Shafter office is actually, sorry, that slide's also wrong. It's now located at the Aloha Center. And I do have our hours of operation out on the table if you want to grab that on your way out. All right, powers of attorney. Powers of attorney, basically when you give someone a power of attorney, you're asking them to act as an agent on your behalf to legally bind you to certain transactions. There's two kinds, there's a general and there's special. A general is very broad, it's going to give that person very broad power to act on your behalf. When you think special, just think specific. You want someone to do something very specific for you. Maybe just take care of your POV, maybe take care of your household goods. With the special power of attorneys, there's some agencies, some institutions that they won't take a general. I know nowadays I've had a lot of spouses coming in during deployments and the paralegals have been telling me that a lot more institutions are not taking the general. When we think general, again, we thought of the broad and would cover you. However, a lot of them are requesting special power of attorneys. A couple of those agencies here on post are housing. If you have anything with housing that you want that agent to do, they have to have a special. Anything with finance, they have to have that special. Anything on the DMV here in Hawaii, like if you need to get your registration or the safety check done while you're gone, you're going to want to get special. Even USAA has their own now on their website. We do have a copy of it in our office, and they're requiring that special. So you want to double check if you're deploying. Make sure if you really think you need your agent to do something on your behalf when you're gone, just double check with them. Hey, do you take a general, or hey, do you have your own special specific one that we need to do? There's also this tax form 2848 that someone can, again, a special power of attorney for someone to act on your behalf to file your taxes while you're gone. And you'll want to check too, maybe for your last deployment you had special, you had a general. If you got one here on post, they do expire. We make them up to a year to 2 years. So you'll want to double check to see if it's still valid. And the date should be right in the document. We do powers of attorney for family members and service members, walk-in basis. Our paralegals do them right then and there at our offices. And again, I have the hours out there, but it's basically 9 to 1600. Even during lunch we're open for walk-in for powers of attorney. Parenting issues, the biggest thing on this I just wanted to harp on is these family care plans. Say you give a guardianship to somebody, these documents are not going to trump someone's parental rights. They're not going to trump a court order that's already in place. So if you are deploying and you do have some issues with who's going to watch kids, just realize that just because you go get a power of attorney or you have this Army care plan, it's not going to trump parental rights. And you don't want to get downrange and have a situation where you gave child to best friend to watch, and now biological mom's knocking on the door saying, hey, you know, I should be able to watch a kid that's, you know, my kid just as much as it is yours. So do think about that when you aren't thinking about guardianship and custody issues when you deploy. Wills, not everyone needs one. Basically, if you die without a will, what's going to happen is it's going to follow the intestate laws based on wherever you're a resident of. So if you're a resident of Texas, look at the Texas probate code and read that over. But most states are pretty similar. If you die without a will, what's going to happen is they're first going to look to spouse, then your kids, then parents, brothers and sisters, and it's going to go all the way down your family tree until we at least stop at one of those levels for someone to take. So if you're okay with spouse getting everything, you probably don't need a will. But if you want to get specific on, hey, I want, you know, this car to go to my best friend, or my dad to at least have this amount of money, or you know, whatever the issue is, then you're definitely going to want to get a will. And also, if you have kids, I encourage you to get a will, because in that will, you'll be able to name who you physically, who your wishes are to physically look after your kids, and then what your wishes would be with regards to looking after property, that if that minor would inherit some property, you know, who's going to look after that property until they hit a magic age of either 18, 21, you know, whatever number that you want to put in there that the kid would inherit that property. Life insurance, again, big thing on this, SGLI, is it current? Just a couple horror stories that I've heard, more through finance, they've told me just, they've had to pay out, unfortunately, something happened to service member downrange, and they still had ex-spouse on their SGLI, and they're remarried, have kids, all that other good stuff. That ex-spouse is getting the money. It's a contract. That's what life insurance is. It's a contract. A divorce decree isn't going to change this. A will isn't going to change this. So you want to double check, hey, are my beneficiaries up to date, current, exactly what I want when I deploy. Also, if you went ahead and got private life insurance, say like another policy through USA Life Insurance, you'll want to double check that policy to see in that contract if there's this exclusion, this combat exclusion clause that says, hey, you know, you're covered, however, we snuck this little clause in the language that said, if you are in a combat zone and you pass away, we're not going to pay out to your beneficiaries. So you want to double check that to see if they inserted one of those clauses in there, because then your beneficiaries won't be paid out. Advanced medical directives. We got a living will and also a healthcare special power of attorney. A living will is a declaration telling the whole world, hey world, I'm telling you now what I'm able. If I ever get to a state where I'm a vegetable, I have zero quality of life, I'm artificially being kept alive, there's no way I'm coming out of this coma. You're telling the whole world now, if I ever get like that, go ahead and pull the plug. You're making that declaration. And then where the healthcare special power of attorney comes into play is, again, you have that agent where maybe you name spouse, mom, dad, brother, whoever. Hey, if I'm unable to make any sort of healthcare decisions, go ahead and do it for me until I'm able to hopefully make them again. Or if it is that scenario where you pull the plug, I want you to act as my agent to make sure that gets done. So we do those, these documents along with the wills on Wednesdays. So all day Wednesday is a walk-in will day. Again, that's for service members, family members, retirees, basically anyone with an ID card can come and get services at our office. So we do these we usually do them all at the same time. All right, taxes. You guys are going to be gone, deployed when the magic April 15th hits. So you have a couple of options on how you want to file your taxes. You can either, like I said, get that special power of attorney, have somebody do it for you, or you have 180 days. The clock will start as soon as you get back from your deployment, back here to Hawaii, back to the United States. 180 days, the clock will start. So you have that long to go ahead and file your taxes for this coming up tax season, 2011 taxes. So it is a nice thing where maybe you weigh out, hey, if I owe the government money, I'm just going to wait till I get back from deployment because I don't want to pay them until I get back. Another thing might be, hey, I want to have a nice fat check waiting for me when I get back. I don't want it to get blown while I'm deployed. Or again, if you want to do an agent, go ahead and get it filed while you're downrange. That's fine too. And it is 180 days when you get back, and also that applies to spouse. So if you're filing jointly with your spouse isn't going to be penalized. There's no interest, nothing like that. So if you're filing jointly, again, you can wait till you get back if that's something that you guys want to do. We do have 2 tax centers here, and they're open now, but they're going to be full-blown open right when we get our LESs around mid-December, or I'm sorry, mid-January, when y'all are probably about to go. But anybody can come in, family members, service members, if they have questions or want to get their taxes done. It is an absolutely free service. We have one here in Schofield and one down at Thrift Chapter. The SCRA stands for the Service Member Civil Relief Act. If you are someone that's getting your mail while you're downrange, opens up the mail and says, hey, you're getting sued, or you're needing to appear in court, in family court in Florida, or your landlord's suing you, whatever it may be, for the service member, and you're downrange, employed on orders. Under this act, you can tell the judge, hey, I'm unavailable to be there, go ahead and stop the proceeding. This is only for civil, not criminal. So if you do get a letter like that, please contact your judge advocate office and downrange immediately so we can write a letter on your behalf to say, hey, here's a copy of the orders. He's ordered to be here in Afghanistan. He's not going to make it. However, he's due back maybe around this time. Let's reschedule, adjourn the hearing until he comes back and he can be there to represent himself. You definitely don't want to wait till after the court hearings. It might be harder to undo something that was already done by the judge. You don't want them to order anything that can affect you. So if you do get mail like that, immediately get to the judge advocate's office so we can help you draft that letter and get in touch with the court. Another thing under the act, which is nice, is if you're looking to quit your lease, you can go ahead and do that with your orders. You can break the lease. Usually you have to give 28-day notice. You'll also want to look in your lease to see if you require more notice. But if you say you're in a year lease, you still got 6 months to go and you're deploying, you want to break it, you have to at least give like a 28-day notice, written notice to your landlord, send a letter. Again, we can help you with that letter, and a copy of your orders, and you can go ahead and break it without any penalty. So that's a great thing, a lease. And then they also have the same deal for if you're in a car lease, if you want to break that and you're deploying. The biggest thing on this slide is legal problems get worse with time, so get help ASAP. You know, we're here for you guys, and so will the judge advocates downrange, so please utilize us. Again, here are our hours. I have them out on the table, but like I was saying before, Wednesdays, all day, will day, walk-in basis. Pretty much anything other than like Thursday mornings, so we're closed for training. You guys can come on in for those powers of attorneys. Any sort of legal questions, we're here for you guys. So, thank you very much for your service and have a safe deployment. Thank you.
They leave and they want to bring somebody in to help them with the expenses or whatever. Not permitted. Don't do that. That's in violation of the lease. Here are a variety of numbers available for your particular community center. I won't go over all those, obviously, but like I said, if you do have any questions, the main thing is to see your community center, talk to them about your situation, and they'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. So everyone, on behalf of myself and Island Palm, I want to tell you I'm a proud parent of a son of the military as well. I appreciate your service. You guys are all tremendous. I wish you all the best and God bless. Thank you so much. Thank you guys.
Hi, I'm Mavis Okihara and I'm from Travelers Health Airlines, and we're the company that manages the TriCare program for yourselves as well as your family. I'm going to go ahead and give you a few reminders about TriCare. First of all, our office is located on the 2nd floor of the clinic. So that's building 676 from 217. If your family members are going to go elsewhere during the deployment, they can always check it out with our office staff up there, talk about how to transfer the enrollment from Hawaii to another location. It's always good to remember that emergencies are always covered. Urgent care, however, needs to be called back to Schofield Tripler to the 800 number. So if you'd like to write this down or check with me at the table afterwards, the Schofield Tripler authorization number is 1-800-322-8262. You can check with me at the table. But again, if you have to, or if your family members need to go in for urgent care, someone has a cold, someone needs antibiotics, they need to call back to the primary care facility for authorization. If it's routine in nature, like a physical exam or immunizations, those things need to be taken care of with their primary care doctor. So if they're going to travel about, it doesn't mean that they have to transfer their TriCare. It just means that if they're going to be somewhere for an extended period of time, we highly recommend it. Our 800 number is staffed from 7 in the morning till 6 in the evening, so that's up there on the screen, 1-888-TRI-WEST. And our office is open from 7:30 in the morning till 4:30 in the afternoon. So please do not hesitate to either stop by at our office or call our phone number, and we'd be happy to answer your questions. Okay, if you have any questions, please see me at the table right out that door. Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm Marci. I'm your military and family life consultant. I'm located over at Wheeler in building 102, which is now the new family support center area, you know, above the DFAC and the shopette. So come on by and say hello. I have candy and tea and things like that, so if you want to do events and talk about things, I'm there for you. We do, as you know, free anonymous, no records kept counseling, but we also can do things like anger management, stress management, pretty much anything that you want to talk about or work on, we're there for you. The number that I have is different from the one from ACS. So if you call ACS, you're not going to get me. So you can actually talk to any of your FRISAs or any of your command and often your FRG leaders, and they can get my number, or just come by. I'll be out at the table over there right by the USO, between USO and ACS. So come on by and say hello. Thank you.